お前はもう死んでいる。何? Hey, gastric flu, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite TV shows and anime, and today I would like to take some of my time out to talk about a TV show by the name of One Punch Man and its first season. So I have been kind of reluctant to watch anime because it's just not really my cup of tea. I like grandiose, ambitious TV shows. But my cousin told me to watch anime. My classmates told me to watch anime. And my cousin told me to watch One Punch Man, so I watched the first season. The second season is still airing right now. So I watched One Punch Man. So it's not the first anime I've ever watched. Does Doraemon count? I think it counts, right? Because every single Asian in the world had definitely watched Doraemon. Maybe the whole world had watched. You know what? Probably the entire world had already watched Doraemon when they were young, because it's just a really popular, fun anime hit TV show that many kids will relate to. But if you're looking for an anime TV show that's even more fun and thrilling and a little bit more adult, just slightly, just tad bit, we have One Punch Man, which is of course based off of a manga, which is basically Japanese comics. So One Punch Man Season 1 is directed by Shingo Natsume and Tomohiro Suzuki. I am not Japanese, so I may butcher some names here, but so anyway, One Punch Man. How do I describe this? It is a story about a super duper strong person. His name is Saitama. He's super fast, super strong, and the reason why he's so strong and fast is because he had been training really, really hard for 3 years, and that's it. And that is why the show isn't really about him fighting monsters, because he could literally defeat almost anyone with just one punch. The show focuses more on his lifestyles, his beliefs, his mental state, and so on. So it's not really much of an action superhero action TV show, more of a comedy. In fact, this is a straight up comedy. It's so funny. I didn't expect the TV show to be this funny and this hilarious. And Saitama actually has a sidekick as well, and his name is Genos, and he is basically a cyborg who takes everything super seriously. And there is a huge contrast between Genos's personality versus Saitama's personality, who doesn't really care about, the world, who is just being a hero for fun. So yes, in some ways, this TV show, this manga, One Punch Man, is actually a parody of every other superhero story in the world. So every episode is around 20 minutes long if you skip the title theme and the end credits. And there are 12 episodes on season 1, so I got through the whole show very quickly. So episode 1 is probably my least favorite because it is the least eventful. It started off with a pollution monster. There are all sorts of monsters in the show. We have the pollution monster. One Punch Man came out of nowhere, punched it, it died. And then we got a flashback from earlier on where he fought his first monster ever, and that is the crab lobster monster, which is just straight up ridiculous. But he defeated it, and he decided to train himself super duper hard in order to become strong. And then later on, back to present day, we get this huge giant and this mad scientist, which is basically this giant's brother, and literally a city is destroyed almost entirely. And then again, One Punch Man just defeated the giant in one punch. And at the end of episode 1, One Punch Man basically had a dream where he actually had worthy opponents to fight. Turns out it was just a dream. And at the end, it just goes to show that being overpowered is actually really, really boring. You would never expect to learn something like that in a normal superhero story, but here we learn that being overpowered actually sucks because everything's so boring. And then we have episode 2 where the character of Genos is introduced, and he fought this mosquito girl, this girl who can control mosquitoes, and this girl is ugly AF. Yeah. And then the second half of episode 2 focuses on the House of Evolution, where this crazy scientist wants to make a more evolved version of human beings. So he started experimenting with different animals, and all these animals, and because he wanted to catch this Saitama person, he sent all these evolved robot animals, and it's actually really, really funny, especially when there's this gorilla who's supposed to be really robotic and really evil and violent, and then at the end he actually has a normal voice. He only did the robot voice because it sounds cool. And then it leads up to episode 3 where Genos and Saitama goes to the House of Evolution, and literally the first minute they arrived, the first second they arrived, Genos just blasted the entire house and the thing is completely destroyed. Never mind. And then turns out there's a basement where the crazy scientist and the toughest monster of the House of Evolution came out, and at first that monster didn't want to fight Saitama because it sensed that Saitama is too strong, but at the end they had a fight, and Saitama got super pissed off because he accidentally forgot that it is the supermarket bargain day, so he defeated the monster, and it was funny, and it's actually kind of motivational, because when Saitama had to explain where he got all these powers, he said he did 100 push-ups every day, 100 sit-ups, ran for 10 kilometers every day, and did 100 squats, and that's all he did in order to become this strong. And it's actually kind of motivational, especially for someone who is not so healthy, and I have to laugh my ass off every time I see that monster because it's just so damn ugly. It's so damn ugly, and the show is aware that it is so damn ugly. It's like he has a boner on his head. And then we have episode 4, where we have a new storyline. There's this bald guy who hates jobs and wants to kill all the rich people. So he wants to kill this millionaire whose building is literally a golden poop. And then there's this fast ninja who looks really crazy and psychotic, and he's like, I'm going to defeat this bald guy and his minions in a second. And yeah, this fast ninja is super duper powerful. And then Saitama showed up, and Saitama accidentally punched his dick, the ninja's dick, and the ninja was like, yeah, next time I see you, you'll be a dead man. Saitama was also really upset that he wasn't famous enough, that when he walked on the streets, nobody recognized him. Apparently there's this hero registry thing, this hero association thing where you can register for being a hero and they will assign you to different classes. And it's so dumb. It's pretty brilliant because at this point anyone could be hero. Once you pass the hero exam, you can be technically a hero, and if you are in the lower ranks, nobody would really care. So it's so dumb. It's actually really funny. And then that leads to episode 5, where Saitama and Genos did the exam of the heroes, and Genos got 100, and he is immediately assigned to class S, which is the highest class. It's S, A, B, C, and then Saitama got class C because he nailed the physical part, but he completely ruined his essay part, the written test. So I feel bad for him. I really do. And it's actually really relatable. There's also this teacher in this hero association who wanted to lecture Genos and Saitama, and Saitama wasn't listening, so the teacher wanted to beat him up, and Saitama just one-punched him, and he's on the ground. And then we have episode 6, where Saitama had already been in class C for quite a while now, and he needed to find a bad guy to fight, or else he's going to be removed from the association. So the first half of the episode is literally him trying to find a bad guy. And then on the second half, the fast ninja showed up again. And yeah, he's pretty powerful, really fast. And then when the ninja wanted to defeat him, Saitama is gone. And apparently Saitama is on top of his back because he was flying like this. And Saitama was on top of the ninja all of a sudden, and the ninja just got smashed. And yeah, great timing, to be honest. Great timing, fantastic timing. And the second half of episode 6 is a little bit more boring. We are told that City Z is filled with monsters and it's abandoned, and 2 really ridiculous superheroes went there to find out about the monsters of City Z. And then there's this monster who has hair like seaweed, but it's made out of steel, and they both almost got killed. And then Saitama showed up out of nowhere, boom, and then it's dead. From episode 7 and onwards, every episode is really solid and entertaining. We have episode 7 where a meteor was crashing onto planet Earth, and if it really crashed onto Earth, like, many cities will be destroyed. And many superheroes tried many different ways to destroy the meteor, but they never worked. So Saitama showed up, boom, the whole meteor blew up. Except it still sucks, because if the meteor blew up, it becomes all these huge rocky shards, and it fell all over the city, and many buildings are destroyed anyway. So it's pretty pointless, and people are actually really pissed off about Saitama punching the meteor, because they think that Saitama actually destroyed the city because he did that to the meteor. So there are another couple of heroes who wanted to shame Saitama because they are jealous of him and they think that he's a cheat. And so Saitama got publicly ashamed, and it's another really relatable moment. And at the end, Saitama just couldn't handle all the hate, and he just yelled. He just had a freak out, and it's it's at this point where I completely realized that this show isn't really about him fighting things and monsters. It's about himself, his life, his reputation. On episodes 8 and 9, we get a huge sea monster, this deep sea king, who is super duper powerful and who is ugly, just straight up ugly. It's like a weird creature trying its very best to look fabulous, but it's so ugly, so fucking ugly. And yeah, everybody tried to fight the sea monster. A lot of Class S heroes tried to fight the sea monster, the Deep Sea King, but they all failed. And the city was evacuated. Everyone went to the safe shelter, the safe house, and then the Deep Sea King sensed that everyone went to the shelter, so he went to the shelter as well and tried to kill all the humans. And then One Punch Man just got there in time, and boom, one punch, it's dead. And everybody was like, huh? What? He's not even a Class S hero. He's just Class C. or at that point I think it's B. No, it's still C. And everybody was really shocked, and then he laughed, turned around, and said that he was able to defeat the Deep Sea King only because he was late. Everyone else already weakened the Deep Sea King, which is a lie, of course. Saitama is overpowered. I kind of don't know why Saitama would do that. But again, I feel really bad for him. Everybody still thinks he is a cheat. Everybody still thought he was a scam. Also, there's this really emotional and powerful scene before One Punch Man, before Saitama actually arrived and defeated the Deep Sea King, and it's the Moomin Rider. There's this bicycle guy who is also a classy hero, and he decided to fight the Deep Sea King, even though he already knew that he's gonna die. And everybody was like, "Are you sure about that?" And then one kid was like, "You can do it, man! You can do it!" And everybody was like, "Yeah, we're counting on you, man. Ganbade, ganbade." So he tried to fight the Deep Sea King, and of course, the Deep Sea King just straight up destroyed him. But it's really emotional and powerful, in my opinion. Like, he knew that he's gonna die, he knew that he's gonna lose, but he still had to do it because it's his duty to save the citizens no matter what. So he's gonna try his best anyway. Episodes 10 to 12 are the final episodes. Apparently there's this gigantic alien spaceship that landed on the city, and there are all sorts of aliens who are going to destroy the city, and this is the biggest threat yet. And yes, it's easily the most entertaining storyline throughout the whole show, and the ending is just fantastic. Saitama finally met a worthy opponent, who is the leader of the alien gang, of the alien spaceship, and they fought for quite some time. The ultimate boss is called Boros, and Boros and Saitama fought so hard that Saitama ended up on the moon at one point. It's that crazy. But yeah, at the end, Saitama just defeated Boros, and nobody really knew about that. Nobody really acknowledged how powerful and important Saitama is. So again, I feel bad for him. And also, there are some heroes who are just straight up ridiculous. Like, there's this class S hero called Watchdog, and he's basically a dude in a dog costume who's constantly sniffing around, and it's just so ridiculous. It's and then there's this kid who's also a class S hero who basically does nothing, and there's also this class S hero who's apparently super strong, but he's also a singer. It's just really, really, really funny. And yeah, at the end, even though the story overall isn't that ambitious or grand or deep or anything, I still enjoy basically every episode of the series. And yeah, again, the premise of the show isn't really that great in my opinion, but Saitama is just a really interesting person. He's just a hero for fun, and you know, every time he's on screen, I'm completely hooked. So yeah, my favorite episode is the final episode, and my least favorite is the first one, and I'm giving One Punch Man Season 1 an 8 out of 10. So, have you watched One Punch Man Season 1 from 1 to 10? How much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.